Have there been any advanced lost civilizations on our planet? Right now, the audience must be split in. For half of you, the answer is an immediate no. The other half might consider it or perhaps say yes. Some must think that we are so advanced compared to anyone that's been on this planet. We have phones, computers, self-driving cars. There can't be any advanced lost civilizations, or else we would have known. Or do we? In the 60s, what is called the Cold War reached a climax in tension. Two superpowers capable of annihilating each other and the rest of the world by the effect of fallout and nuclear winter. If that happened and mankind somehow survived, would people from thousands of years after remember us? Or would we just be forgotten in some legends or religious books? This thought experiment forms the basis of what scientists call the Silurian hypothesis, which questions whether we would be able to detect evidence of a technologically advanced species that existed millions of years ago. If we take our question methodically, the answer isn't really clear. Searching for a civilization similar to ours begins with looking for any left traces, like fossils for example. But for your information, the number of fossils that make it to us today is less than 1 in 1,000, and that's for the hard parts like bones. For the soft-bodied organisms, the preservation rate drops down to less than 1 in a million. So if we assume an advanced civilization lived on Earth 1 million years ago, there is very little chance we find any remains from that era. A good way to think about this is to look for the things that remain the longest after we are gone. The pyramids have been there for 4,000 years. Mount Rushmore has been in place for 100 years. But even these massive monuments will be unrecognizable in millions of years. The most enduring signatures would be plastic remains and other isotopic anomalies, which are gases from fossil fuel usage. These will be in the depths of oceans for potentially millions of years, so if we find anything like that from the past, we will know someone else has been on the same path we are right now and ended in extinction. This method, however, has a very interesting paradox. For it to work, the civilization would need to have lived long enough to make the layer thick enough to be detectable today, but a civilization that lived long enough would likely begin using clean energy and therefore leave fewer traces of existence. So the shorter a civilization lives, the less chances we have of finding out about it. But if it lives long enough, we can detect it either. One possible solution to this is to not look on Earth, but rather on the moon. If some advanced civilization lived on Earth in the past, they would most likely have visited the moon, the closest celestial body to us, and since it has no atmosphere or erosion, we have better chance of finding some remains there than on Earth. Any artifacts left on the lunar surface would remain unchanged for millions of years. At the end, the question of past advanced civilization sounds wild to say the least, and yet for now we can't prove they never existed, because the fossil record is far from complete, and we still haven't discovered entirely our oceans, so we don't know what's really there.